Hey guys, in this video I'm super excited to go through the future of bike classes in racing, but also rider classes. And yes, I believe in the future, actually within the next 10 years, I think there might be something called rider classification. And let me explain you what that is. In case you didn't know it, I also have a background in studying nanoscience at the University of Aarhus, Denmark. So that's why I have a lot of ideas and I study things that doesn't seem that normal to talk about in the motocross world. But let's get into it. So there's going to be probably 3 rider classes where all 3 classes, they ride the same bike. And that's, let's just say that could be an electric motocross race bike that produces 100 horsepower in each class. So all the bikes are the same, but the riders are drastically different, okay? So the first classification is going to be human riders, okay? Normal humans. Okay, the second classification is going to be enhanced humans. It could be called something like the life extension class, and probably the riders will have Neuralink. Elon Musk's company Neuralink is developing interface between the human brain and computer, which would make it possible to upload a lot of data and process data much faster and transfer data from one rider to another. So there could be like a database of riding skills, which would be kind of a way of cheating, you could say, if you could enhance the human's cognitive skills and riding skills through this technology. And also, you have to think about in the future, it would be extremely beneficial for the companies, the pharmaceutical companies that produce life extension products, if they could have a rider that does really well in a championship, actually in any sport, where they will outperform by far the non-enhanced humans. And we already know that just by the most basic enhancements we can do via doping, PEDs. We can like make the riders way faster and stronger if we use anabolic steroids, human growth hormone, EPO, and we can enhance focus and energy output and performance overall by using Adderall, which is also widely used in motocross already, but unofficially, and even IV injection between races is something that is used. Then this could be taken into an officially new class that's just called the enhanced human class or something like that, where they both have like electronic interfaces to the brain and also officially say, hey, we are using a lot of technologies to enhance the energy output and endurance of the body. And maybe, God knows, maybe some of these riders, they would be 70 years old, but would look like they were 30 years old and perform like they were 30 years old. That would be really good advertising for these companies. Now, enough about class 2. The third class that would be racing on the same bikes would be robots, like humanoids. So there'll be robots that has like a human-looking body, but just with superhuman strength and superhuman endurance, and they would run on neural network software. So this would be really good advertising. There would be an insane amount of cash flow, like in terms of sponsorship and funding to these teams, like the robot teams, because if a robot manufacturer can have their robot kick the ass, so to speak, of all the other teams of robots, then that will be good promotion and advertising for this robot company that can outperform the others, both in terms of software, which is huge, and in terms of hardware, like how strong are the robots and how precise and agile are they. Actually, there's a new robotic company in Oregon, in the US, that's going to produce 10,000 humanoid robots in the next year. That's their target. I think they're called Agility Robotics. And then there's also Tesla. The Tesla humanoids might also be a big player, maybe the biggest player, especially in terms of software. So you can see with these 3 classes, it's going to be like really entertaining to watch. And I want to say, like, I don't know how much you have seen about this current development of robotics, but I want to say it's going to be fun to watch. Because if you imagine like a supercross track, like a big race track, right? And a robot that can handle 20 or 30 Gs of gravity, basically. They could hit a jump like 100 horsepower. They could just hit a jump so hard that a human would basically get crushed on the takeoff simply because of the G-forces. They will just get like slammed into the bike and break all their ribs just from taking off. But a robot would just be able to like keep it pinned and just jump something like 150 meters across the whole track and just like land perfectly on a down ramp somewhere. They would just have to build the tracks and the jump combinations way bigger. Like for example, at the SMX, they had like this uphill section going out of the stadium. Like they would probably find a jump on the track to just jump all the way and land on top of the hill, and do combinations that humans would not be physically able to do and probably wouldn't take the risk of doing, because if you screw up jumping 150 meters or 500 feet, I mean, you're probably gonna die when you land. But if a robot crashes, no big deal. They'll just put on a new robot in the next race if they have rules that allow that. Probably not, but anyways, I'm not gonna go through the future of the rule book of racing in this video. But anyways, I think you are starting to get the point. It is quite different future we are entering right now. And I have studied the options of these technologies and how it should be managed safely, carefully, because I'm quite worried actually. But I also know for sure that if it's managed correctly, it can become the brightest future imaginable for humans, where every human can live in peace and prosperity with everything they need, because the whole workforce can be robotic. And if they are managed safely through democracy, I would say, and with mainly narrow AI instead of super AI, I think it can become safe and a bright future. And now let's talk about the future of bike classes. Now we talked about the different rider classes, 3 classes. So I also think there will be 3 bike classes with humans racing, just because it's going to be fun to watch and nostalgic, to keep things old school and like human, to stay in touch with the human feeling. I think there will also be a 4-stroke, like a 450 race class, or maybe a 250 4-stroke class, because 450s are almost too fast. Let me know what you think in the comments. Then there's going to be an electric bike human racing class. And then there's going to be probably, I hope there's going to be a 2-stroke, a 250 2-stroke racing class, or a 300 2-stroke racing class. Just because it's really fun and it's pure nostalgia, like the good old times. And I mean, even for my generation, this is like the good old times of racing, and the smell and the sound. That's what I think would be cool. If you want to improve your riding technique, consider becoming a channel member and clicking the join button below, where you can access my personal training programs. And especially if you become a member on the physics of riding technique level, then you can learn my 40 body position program, which is, I would say, is the most useful program in terms of understanding the physics of riding technique, which is not something I see on many other channels. So let me know what you think in the comments, and what you think about the future that we're entering. But in any case, thank you for watching, and see you on the next one. To watch the full version of my advanced riding videos and support the development of this channel, click the join button below and become a member. And thereby you will get access to exclusive videos where I go through the most advanced skill levels, and also explaining things from a physics standpoint, because I have a background in science and thereby studying physics. So I'm able to explain actual riding technique and the mechanics of riding, also bike setup, in a way that you don't see on many other channels. Also, I share my own step-by-step methods on how I track my own progress and riding technique development. So if you're interested in that, consider becoming a member and clicking the join button. And if you like tropical island holidays, visit fitcamp5.com for my 2-time TripAdvisor award-winning training camp, where we train fitness and action sports together while learning to live a healthy lifestyle, and maybe most importantly, have fun at the same time. And if you're really serious about improving yourself, you should definitely check out my full online courses, where I share step-by-step programs on how I developed my own routines over the last 12 years as a CEO, working in 4 different countries, while being a successful competitive athlete with more than 20 years of experience in fitness and nutrition. Check the link in the description for that. And in any case, thank you so much for watching. Have a great day, be awesome, believe in yourself, and see you on the next one.